From your experience, Ms. Albert, as a governor of a women's prison, what percentage of women who were in custody had been the victims of, frankly, of male violence?
I couldn't give you an exact, but it was common.
It was,
invariably there were victims behind why they were in prison. There was usually some kind of abusive relationship.
So more often than not.
Yeah, more often than not. Yeah.
I mean, an interesting piece of evidence that's been submitted by a group called Women's Place to the Justice Committee for their inquiry, which I think may be coming our way, is on the issue of whether or not, if the government bring in self-gender identification, what the impact would be of people with a male body who are trans women demanding a right to be in a women's prison, and the impact that could have on the perception of safety for some women. Is that something that you've dealt with?
Yeah, when we, you always have to manage transgender really carefully, because obviously you've got to think of both people really. But how far, I'm trying to say this appropriately. You know, if somebody who has a male body but identifies as a woman comes into a female prison, or is potentially coming into female prison, I have seen women very scared in that situation, and I've also seen women very scared when people are part through change in their body, be scared as well. It's really difficult, really difficult.
Is there also an impact on what I presume would be mainly female prison officers who would be expected to carry out intimate searches of people who perhaps have a male body?
I have to say that generally in women's prisons we don't normally have people who are still a fully male body. We don't generally have that.
But if self-identification comes in, then you will be having that probably in the future, won't you?
Well, we do have male prison officers, you know, so I would assume, well, I don't know what policy would be, but if the individual said I'd rather be searched by a man or I'd rather be searched by a woman, we'd have to somehow work our way through that, but that's not unusual, that's what we do in prisons.